So this is the self-development with tactics book.
So, this one's gonna be about Jeff Bezos and how to succeed in business, but I also hope to find some, in general, how to success things and or how to succeed actually, how to succeed, statements or tips or whatever. Because it is basically an article on just how to be successful in business, but I really hope that there's going to be something else, besides the whole business part. I'm trying to just expand it a little bit because I know that not everybody has a business, and not everybody is actually willing to have a business, which is totally all right, which is really all right. But more, as always, after the motherfucking intro. After the goddamn intro that I really like, to be honest. I really like my intro. But with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. And I'm really, really, really pumped for this episode as always, quite always. And I was really looking forward to it. And I still look forward to it. I'm still really excited about speaking to you about things that matter for me and hopefully also matter for you. But as I've already covered in the intro, or before the intro actually, we are going through an article on Jeff Bezos. Why Jeff Bezos? Well, because he's an amazing dude. He accomplished something amazing, and I think they're actually doing a pretty great job. Besides the whole fact, they build a great business, but to sustain it is something different still, I assume at least, I think it's always going to be something different, building something and sustaining it, This might also be the reason why a lot of people build a business and then sell it, and also then just work in their own just business they founded or whatsoever. I could assume at least, I could think about this, I could really assume that, but the thing is, Amazon is just doing really great, They always see the new things. They always, I think, will see the new things and new things that are actually going to rise, whether it be Amazon Prime. It's been just a really great thing also with Prime Video, that they've also just been in this certain market. And I think Alexa itself is a really good idea because, as Gary Vee often says, and I really believe in what he says, we are actually, we are heading more towards a audio life, and also just actually speaking to our phones and being like, okay, let's call Tony or let's call somebody. And I also see this, and Gary has been, which is pretty funny, has also been talking about this certain thing. I've seen actually my little sister, using the phone only through audio or only through voice actually, and it is really interesting. And then I thought I guess there is going to be a future of just us talking to our phones or us just talking to our devices that we are just willing to use, because it really is efficient, I'm personally also using it, for every alarm that I'm setting. When I, for example, go to bed, I always use Siri. Because it is way more convenient for me, first of all, and it is way faster for me as well, because I'm just saying, okay, please wake me up tomorrow at 3:50 a.m. Maybe a little bit later. But, in theory, I'm saying that. And it is working really fine. There's quite never like a misunderstanding thing or something. It is always working really good. And why wouldn't I use it then? And I think there are also just other things you can use Siri for that are just really applicable right now. As I said, alarms, searching for things, phoning or calling somebody, just writing a text to somebody might also work. But is it faster than just tapping it on your own? I don't know. It might be faster if you're having an older device. This might also be the reason why I use Siri, because I'm having a relatively old device, and therefore it is pretty quick to just be okay, set an alarm for this and that time, and then I'm having an alarm, instead of just opening my phone and or unlocking my phone, opening the app, going to this certain section, just typing everything in and whatsoever. It's just taking a little bit more time, at least for me with my device and my habits and whatever. But I'm not you and you're not me, which is good. which is really good because it is nice, that we all are individual and we all have our own talents and whatever. But yeah, so tips on how to succeed in business from Jeff Bezos. There's also a video on this certain topic. So if you want to just, watch the video from them, so from Bloomberg, I think.com, I assume, then yeah, all the links should be down in the description or should be down in the show notes. So please check it out if you're willing to. So The World's Richest Man Has Some Thoughts on How to Get Ahead by Siraj Datu, I assume, from the 7th of June 2019 at 3 p.m., I guess, so 15:45. The World's Richest Man has some advice for budding entrepreneurs. Never forget about the customer and feel comfortable with getting things wrong. The founder and CEO of Amazon.com Inc., Jeff Bezos, was speaking during a keynote at the company's RE Mars conference in Las Vegas on June the 6th. So June the 6th, when he was asked to share tips for anyone looking to start a business. The funny thing is, because I assume this is not really right, because I guess the whole Mars conference is not well, he wasn't there in terms of, okay, he is the CEO of Amazon, but he's also, I think, the CEO, I assume, of Origin, his space company. And I guess, he was there for Origin and not for Amazon, actually. But yeah, like, it is a really minor thing, but it just really popped into my mind. But, let's actually see, because I'm really interested in that. Let's actually see if he's actually the CEO of Origin. Or is it actually called Origin? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. No, it's called Blue Origin, isn't it? Origin is something else, but I think it is called Blue Origin. No? Chrome. Because Origin is another company, which is for games. It's like Steam, if you know Steam. Been using it. But Blue Origin. The owner is Jeff Bezos. The founder is Jeff Bezos. But who is the CEO? Is the founder also like the just CEO? Because I don't know. I really don't know. Bob Smith. What? So actually, as we can see there, I guess Jeff Bezos is not the CEO of Blue Origin. So founded in 2000 by Jeff Bezos, the company is led in 2000. It is already 19 years old. What the fuck? I didn't know that. It is amazing. It's just really crazy to see, actually. Founded in 2000 by Jeff Bezos, the company is led by CEO Bob Smith and is developing technologies to enable private human access to space with the goal to dramatically lower costs and increase reliability. Actually, a pretty great thing. A really, really, really great thing. Basically, the exact same thing as I think SpaceX is doing, if I'm right. So SpaceX with Elon Musk. And, well, yeah. The thing is, I guess SpaceX has been doing it a little bit better than Blue Origin has been doing it up to this point. Yeah, I think in terms of speeds, but it was really like in terms of the rockets that are landing again, like they're just starting and then landing again. I think, I don't know, I guess Blue Origin was actually faster, but in the end it was like, okay, SpaceX did a better job and also the rocket was just better, itself, but the landing mechanism was just somehow identical. But, something, there was something that was so slight, it was just such a slight advantage that SpaceX had over Blue Origin that they are now having, I think, just some satellites in space or something. Let's actually, maybe I can find something. Blue Origin versus SpaceX. There might gonna be just some memes, I guess. Billionaire space race. There's actually let me show you. There's actually like a Wikipedia article on billionaire space race. Okay. So it is currently in the hands of SpaceX, while Blue Origin rented SLC-36 instead. SpaceX and Blue Origin got into a Twitter battle about the meaning of a used rocket, landed rocket, space rocket, at the end of 2015 when New Shepard successfully landed after a suborbital yacht into space. Amazing, but as far as I know, as I said, I think SpaceX has a slight advantage over Origin or Blue Origin, or they had actually, I think in terms of speed, And because of that, SpaceX is now having either it is like, okay, they just sent a rocket to the ISS, or it is about a satellite, or it is about something different. There's definitely something. Maybe one of you knows that. It would be amazing. Just comment it down into the description, not in the description, but into the comment section, so that other people can also benefit from that as well. For the podcast listeners, I'm very sorry, but you could maybe look that up. But I'm going ahead with the initial article. I really like to show you things, because I'm thinking about so many things while I'm recording, which then often just really pisses me off when I'm editing everything, because I often cut myself off, and it is really annoying, because I do not know when to cut, and sometimes it is then like, okay, a 10-minute section is actually really important just because I've just actually interrupted myself because I was saying something initially, and then I just had another thought, and then I just stopped everything and just started with the other thought and whatever. So it was sometimes it's really quite annoying, but I shouldn't complain. I should really not complain. So the most important thing is to be customer obsessed. I really believe in that. Bezos told the audience, figure out how to absolutely delight them. And I really also believe that Amazon is doing a really good job, and all the other companies that's Amazon, because I assume like, okay, there's Amazon Prime, there's Amazon itself, and there are all the other Amazon things, and I think they're all doing it really great. One example that I'm actually having as I'm thinking about it is, I've sometimes actually, is it bought or subscribed? Is it subscribed? I think it's subscribed to Prime. But I always forgot about it. And in the end it was like, okay, well, they just, they took, I think it was $60 from me or something, just because I forgot to cancel the whole subscription whatsoever, which was then just really fuck it up, especially for me. I'm not having just really a lot of money. I really don't have that. And it would just really have been a pretty much fucked up thing if they actually kept the money. But I was like, no, I was searching for a solution, and I was actually finding a solution, and it was really easy. I canceled the whole subscription, and they then just ask you, okay, do you want to have your money back, or do you want to continue the subscription? Or I think there was like a third option as well or something, if I remember correctly. But the thing was, okay, I took the option where I get my money back, and I got my money back, which is amazing, which is really amazing, because I can assume, to be honest, I can really assume that some companies would not be doing that. I also assume just because of that, just because of the reputation they have for me as a person, that they're also having a good support, but I don't know that. I'm just merely assuming it would at least be great, and I also believe in Bezos. I also believe in Bezos' belief in just being customer-centric, because he has been doing just a lot of right things for the company and for businesses and whatsoever, and just being all about the audience and the customer is definitely a pretty good point, but not only for businesses, but also when you're just trying, quote unquote, to be an influencer whatsoever, then producing content for the people makes sense, instead of, as Seth Godin will say, searching people for your content. It is something different. Just producing content for a certain group, and or searching a certain group for your content. So Amazon has won over customers by historically offering the lowest price on a product, even if that means losing money. The company now also has 100 million paid subscribers to its Prime membership offering. 100 million paid subscribers. It is just insane, but it is just good. And it is also not that expensive. It really is not that expensive. I have to say that. If you're subscribing to Prime, you're getting Prime Video, you get music, you get so many things for, I think it is like $30 a month or something, or 70 a year. I think this, at least in Austria, where I'm living, it is like $60-70 a year. And I think this is totally all right. Netflix is way, 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 way more expensive, but it then just really comes up to what you're using, because, well, I think Amazon is actually cheaper in terms of it providing as much value as it is doing. The thing is, if you only need just some video consumption, or if you only need something for video consumption, of course, I guess Netflix is going to be cheaper. But I don't know. I'm really as well or again, assuming, but Amazon is doing a really, really good job in terms of value, because I think alone Prime, for the packages so that you get them faster and without any shipping cost, I think it is worth only for that, or Prime is worth Prime is worth it only for this reason, at least at my point of view, because sometimes it's really going to be just a lot more expensive, I guess, especially if you're just really buying a lot of things online, and especially off of Amazon, then it's definitely worth it, I assume. Bezos also said that entrepreneurs need to prepare for failure, hinting that bold moves need to be made to get ahead. You've got to accept that your business is going to be in many ways an experiment, and it might fail, he said. That's okay. That's what risk is. Definitely the case. Things are definitely going to fail, and you're definitely going to just learn from these failures. It has been a case for me with what I'm doing right here. The funny thing is, even though, I wouldn't consider what I'm doing, like producing content for various different platforms, I wouldn't consider this a business. But sometimes I'm really feeling like, and I'm also really seeing that, well, it has some nuances of a business, to be honest. Because, often I do just actually, have to put out fires because something is burning, which is a metaphor for, okay, something is just not working and I have to fix it. And sometimes then I have to wait until everything is working because I need certain platforms. And when these certain platforms are not working, it is really bad for me. For example, YouTube, or if I'm just having some issues with YouTube when I know something is going wrong or whatsoever, there are days where a lot of things are going wrong. And there are some days where I forgot about some things. And I assume that it is exactly the exact same thing for some businesses as well. Like, there's always going to be something that is just not working right. It still depends on how large your business is and whatever. But it is what it is. Sometimes some things are not working, and this might also be good. Just having the contrast of, okay, some quote unquote bad days, because there are no fucking bad days, and quote unquote good days. But I believe in that. So the Amazon CEO referenced the metaphor that if you swing for the fences in baseball, you're going to hit some home runs, but you'll also strike out a lot. Yeah, you're definitely going to do that. The difference, he said, between baseball and business is that the maximum runs you can get when at bat is 4. And sometimes in business, a success will yield 1,000 runs. Again, there I think you could quote just, what is he called? The man who actually invented the light bulb. I don't know his name. I don't remember. I'm very sorry. I don't remember. But the thing is, people say, okay, it took him like 10,000 or 1,000 times until he actually got the light bulb. Yeah. It might be the case. I don't know. I think is it proven? Is it proven? I don't know if it is proven. This is the problem. I really don't know, but it's definitely going to be the case. This format, that I'm having right now at this certain point of time might not even be the end format that I'm having. It might not even be the thing that I'm just going to do until I'm stopping doing the podcast because I'm fucking old or something, no matter what the reason is going to be. I guess this is not going to be the end thing. This is not going to be the end product. I think I'm just still going to progress. I'm still going to do something different, something else, trying to do some other things, trying to make some other things, because why not? Why actually not? I could do that. And I think it is also very important to just experiment with things and just see what is working for you. It is really important, because how could I know? How could I know that something is not working for me when I haven't tried it out? And something that I should definitely try is maybe not having an article, maybe not having something to read, maybe not having something to go through, but rather maybe going through something beforehand and then talking about it in the episode. This might be pretty good. It might also be just pretty shitty, and maybe also trying out something completely different, just maybe talking about something else, maybe just having a shorter episode. Just, there's so many variables, and so many factors, because life is definitely not binary, at least not that often. Like, being pregnant, okay, of course it is binary, hopefully, but a lot of things in life are actually grays and shades of grays and whatsoever. So it's definitely going to be a lot of factors. It's definitely going to be a lot of different reasons why things are how they are and whatsoever. But yeah, trying out shit is definitely important. Trying out shit is important. So he said the way that I'm sorry. So the way that probability distribution is, you should be swinging hard. You're going to fail a lot, and it is okay. And you need to have a culture that supports that. Very, very important. It is not a good idea to get involved in a business unless you really believe in the project. Otherwise, it will be tough to compete against your rivals. According to Bezos, you have to have some passion for the arena that you're going to develop and work in, he said. And it is definitely something that I've been hearing other people talking about as well. It is really important to have passion, because the thing with not having passion and just being in a business you're not passionate about, it's going to be really, really difficult. You're not going to have the motivation to work on it, even when it is night, even when it is just really in the morning, even when you're just, on your highest level in terms of motivation, in terms of just energy, in terms of everything. If you're not really passionate about it, you're not going to put in the work that maybe you need to put in to actually get it successful or make it successful or to become successful with what you're doing. The thing is, I'm really glad, and I think it is really important that I'm really passionate about what I'm doing, in terms of producing content, in terms of just producing videos, whatever it's going to be, because I believe that people can notice. People can notice when somebody is not really passionate about what he's doing or what she is doing, and maybe not even interested in what she or he is doing, because I don't know, I'm putting definitely a lot of love into what I'm doing here. And I guess people can tell. People can tell that I like to do what I'm doing here. I really like to do that. But people can also notice, and I think easily notice, when other people just, they're not feeling like it. When people are not passionate about it. I think this just really, really hits the nail, or hits the point, or hits the target, or whatever you say in English, whatever kind of just saying there is in English for saying that or something. I don't know. But I'm really passionate. I'm really passionate about what I'm doing here. But this is actually the end of this article. Read more. Amazon's satellite project will cost billions, and Jeff Bezos says. Or this is one article, I'm sorry. With assistance by Matt Day. Is it actually the case that one share of Amazon is costing 1.8k and it grew by 33.25, and it actually grew by 1.85%, which is amazing, which is really, really, really good. I like that. I like that for Bezos, because I believe that he is having a pretty good business, even though some people actually say that he's a pretty tough boss. It is really not like, okay, he's the easiest to be around with and whatever. Sometimes it is like, okay, he seems to be a pretty tough boss and a pretty tough guy, because I've actually, which has been a really good book and a really interesting book as well, even though there was quite a big timeline in it. I've been reading the Everything Store, which is basically like, how Amazon got to Amazon, basically. And it is a really interesting one, just because you can also get some insights into how Bezos is leading the company and how the company is internally, and all those really interesting things, but also a really, really, really detailed timeline of how Amazon got Amazon, basically. And it's definitely interesting, and it's definitely a good one, and I've actually went through it on the podcast, so you might be finding it. I didn't went through the timeline fully, because I've seen it's only dates, and you can also just, look up the dates, and you can also check the dates on your own, and you can also read this free summary, and I really hope that it is still free. You can also read this free summary on your own. I might be linking it down in the description if I don't forget it, and I do just remember that I've forgotten a link, or putting a link down in the description for another video. But I don't remember the video, unfortunately. And yeah, as you can see in the background, I'm having a new thing here. Yeah, a new thing. It's not the best thing for the background, to be honest. It's a little bit disturbing because I actually decided to put my clothes here, over there, and not like on the other thing that I'm having, where now is a frame, with some pictures that I like. And I always liked it to just be looking a little bit more clean and only seeing the pictures, because I had a picture and in front of the pictures there were all my clothes, the clothes that you can see now in the background. And it was like, yeah, I want to see the fucking picture, and not only the clothes. But yeah, what should I be doing? But what I can say, what I can really say right now is that Bezos is thinking about business. Oh, wait. No, I just for a second I thought like, okay, it is actually not the end of this article, which wouldn't have been that good, that great, because like, yeah, I thought I already finished with it. But the thing is, I don't know, like going for money, nobody actually said something about money in here. Bezos didn't even just slightly talk about money in here, which is, at my point of view, very, 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 very important, because you can see like, okay, it's going to be about your heart. It's going to be about just putting in your heart, putting in effort, putting in just your passion and doing something you're passionate about and doing something you like. And then it's going to be just successful. And then you're probably or maybe going to be successful. If you're just good at what you're doing and if you like what you're doing, it's just the best situation you can be in, because you're going to put in the work and you're good, and when you're good at something, chances of getting the best are quite good, I have to say. If you're shitty and you're trying to be pretty good, then it's going to be a pretty tough thing, at least at my point of view, and at least as I'm thinking about it, or how I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I really like his worldviews and his points and how he thinks about these things. But I don't know. Like, the thing is, I guess there have been just people that have been founding and building up more businesses than Bezos was doing. But I don't know. Amazon is doing really great, and I think Amazon is going to do pretty great also in 10 years or something. The funny thing is, today I've actually seen some. I don't actually know the word. You have the train, and then you have some, like the train that is actually moving the whole thing, and your seats are in a certain department kind of thing. Well, let me Google. Let me Google, because it shouldn't be the case. I really try to communicate here. No, I do not wanna. Is it actually the same thing? Could I please? It is German. Thank you. Rail car or wagon also seems to be appropriate. But the thing is, you're sitting in a rail car. You're sitting in a rail car, and the thing is, I've seen some prime rail cars. As I was going to the train, because I went to my internship as I was doing the past 3 weeks, because tomorrow is going to be my last day. And it's pretty interesting, because I've never ever seen up to this point any rail cars from Amazon. And there were I think it was actually 3 of them. And the funny thing is, I don't know where they're heading to, because I think we in Austria, we're not even having a fucking Amazon headquarter or something. We're not even having fucking Amazon for Austria. There's only Amazon for Germany, and they're shipping to Austria as well. Sometimes they're shipping, sometimes they're not shipping. And it is then, relatively fucked up and relatively bad, because, you're not going to get the item, they're not going to ship it to Austria. You won't get it. It is what it is. You can do whatever you want to do. You're not going to get this fucking item unless you're actually just shipping it or letting it ship to Germany and then just get it there somewhere. You could be doing that, but it's definitely some effort. It is definitely some effort. But yeah, I'm still pretty interested, by the way, in just the whole SpaceX versus Blue Origin thing. Let's actually see, because I see that we're having quite some time left, and we could actually do it like this, because then it is bigger, and I hope that it is actually a little bit better like this. But I don't know. Like I think it is better. At least a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit. Could I please be like, I see. I could do it like this, and now I'm here, and now I'm gonna make myself smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and now everything is fine. Because I'm in the corner, you can see me, everything is good, everything is fine. Amazing, thumbs up. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. But what is the billionaire space race? Billionaire space race. It is about Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. Is Richard Branson also doing something? Because I don't know that. So amongst the billionaires entering into new space are South African, Canadian, American. He's everything, or he seems to be everything. Yeah. Elon Musk behind SpaceX and project to colonize Mars. American billionaire Jeff Bezos behind Blue Origin and establishing a true industrial base in space. British billionaire he's also a billionaire. Richard Branson behind Virgin Galactic, Virgin Orbit and space tourism, low-cost small orbital launches and intercontinental suborbital transit. And Russian billionaire Yuri Milner backing the breakthrough Starshot project for an interstellar probe. Interstellar has been a pretty good movie. It's been a really good movie. So it actually seems to be the case that SpaceX and Blue Origin had or have had a long history of conflict. There is a vision of a hare, H-A-R-E. I don't know this word. Versus a tortoise. Yeah, or tortoise. I don't know. Never mind. So for the two respectively, from Blue Origin's standpoint, Blue Origin and SpaceX have had dueling press releases that compete with each other's announcements and events. Yeah. And also the other, they all are in competition with each other, aren't they? It's going to be the case. But I actually don't know what Richard Branson was doing. He's an investor, author. I just know his name. This is what I know. I know his name. The Virgin Group. He founded the Virgin Group. His first business venture at the age of 16 was a magazine called Student. In 1970, he set up a mail order record business. So he was actually quite a good businessman, I assume. I don't know. I don't know him. I only assume. Early life. But isn't the net worth 5.1 billion? It is quite something, compared to Jeff Bezos' fortune. It is quite nothing. But I also have to say that, how much money is Bezos actually having, and how much money is Branson actually having, and how much money is Elon actually having? Because the thing is, I don't know. The thing really is they have money on paper. Their company is just really, their company is worth quite a lot. But it doesn't mean that they're having the money. It doesn't mean that Jeff Bezos is having 100 billion, I guess by now, 100 billion fucking dollars in his bank account. His company is worth that, But he might be having, I don't know, a few million maybe in his bank account. Or like $1 billion. Could be the case. Could really be the case. I could Google. Let's Google everything. This is the Google Everything show. It's going to be a new format. I'm going to sit here all day long, 24 hours, and I'm going to Google the shit out of Google. Jeff Bezos, bank account. Bezos' fortune became a bit more liquid in the final 3 days of July as he sold off 1.8 billion worth of Amazon stock. Let's say bank balance and repuse. So I think nobody knows that. Nobody Bezos, I guess. Isn't it actually the case? In 2000, Bezos borrowed $2 billion from banks as its cash balances dipped to only $350 million. You can borrow fucking $2 billion. This is possible. This is really possible. I didn't know that. I thought okay, you can just borrow some million, even though this is just over the top, I guess. But, there might be some special Banksy. Banksy is a pretty cool dude. Banks for businesses, I guess, or just some tariffs or some special kind of, just contracts with businesses and loaning money to businesses and whatever, with maybe even higher just taxes and whatever could be the case. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not going to stretch this episode any further. I'm going to end this episode here, and I hope you've learned something. It might not have been just as good as yesterday, at least for me, at least as I consider it, because yesterday has been a really, really, really good and informative episode, so you should definitely check it out. It's been about Jocko Willink, Jocko Willink, the ex-Navy SEAL and also author, entrepreneur, everything. He's just a really, really interesting and cool guy. You should definitely check out yesterday's episode. But this is going to be the end of the episode, and I'm really, really thankful from the bottom of my heart, actually. I'm really thankful that you've been going through this article with me, and you've been listening to me, and you've been watching this episode. Please subscribe to the podcast and also to the YouTube video if you haven't up to this point, because then you're not going to miss anything, you're not going to miss anything, anything in audio version and anything in video version. So if you're just on this YouTube video, then you might be also checking out the podcast, which is basically the audio version of this certain thing or this certain video that you're also just viewing at this point of time, which is pretty good if you want to save some time. You can just get through the audio, learn something, get some value, get some entertainment, get some whatever, and it is good. And you do not have to watch the video. But if you want the video, also for all the podcast listeners, then please check out the YouTube channel and subscribe. I've actually had a new subscriber, I think 2 days ago or something, and it is definitely something that makes me really happy, because I'm actually putting a lot of effort and work into what I'm doing here, and I really love it. I really just love it, even though on some days, maybe like today, the episode is not going to be as good as on some other days, at least as I'm thinking about it. It doesn't really mean that it is actually not a good episode, because I am not the person who should judge my work. The market should, and also the audience should. But yeah, thank you very much, and I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success. But I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered. So basically your legacy, because we totally can shape it. We totally have the control, we totally have the control. But the thing is, no matter how nice you are, and no matter how generous you are, there's still going to be someone that somehow hates you, or at least doesn't like you, just because of some reasons. It might not even be about you or because of you. It just definitely is then probably about the person, or because of the person, or because of him or herself. But yeah, also think about your purpose and some questions that might or could help you with that are: why are you here? So why are you on this planet? What are you trying to change? And what is pissing you off the most? And the last question might even give you a business idea. To some degree, maybe. Who knows? Because, it often actually started with something that bothered this person really, 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 really hard. And then this person decided that he or she is going to do something about this. And then, a business was born or something, Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I see you the next time, hopefully. Bye.